And we are back once again talking about our pets' diets. Really, I started this channel to point out to people what seems very obvious to me, and that is that the common dietary advice we are given about our animals just does not hold up to any critical thinking or scrutiny of any kind. We're told that dry food is a complete diet just because it's been so-called fortified with synthetic vitamins and mineral supplements. We're told that dry food is better than wet food. We're told that dry food cleans the teeth. We're told that our animals should eat the same thing every single day, that we should never change brands, we should never add anything in, that they should not eat any people food, and that they shouldn't eat anything fresh or raw. In other words, we are told the exact opposite of what is true in every other circumstance. We're told that these highly processed diets are good and that real whole foods are bad. A long time ago, I worked for PetSmart, and I was quote-unquote trained in just this type of propaganda from the pet food companies. I believed it. I spat it back out without question. This was what I told every single customer who walked in the door. But at the same time, I also began studying the actual science of nutrition and the biochemistry of it, and somewhere along the way, I noticed this huge discrepancy in what we're told for our animals and what the actual science of nutrition says. So really what I mean here is that I've made all the mistakes already. I believed them, I did them, and I saw the damage that came of it from my own animals when they got older, and then over and over again with the animals who I care for in my business. So eventually I began applying all of this cutting-edge research and science about health, diet, and nutrition to my animals and many of the animals who I work for, and I have seen many health improvements because of it. But I've also learned that most people want to believe these things are true. They want it to be easy to feed their animals. They want to be able to throw down a bowl of kibble and think that their animal is eating properly. And since the veterinarians out there don't know anything about nutrition either, and they get all their information from the same pet food companies who are spreading the very bad information that is causing the harm, then really they get the green light to throw down the kibble because their vet says it's fine. And of course their vet and these pet food companies are making thousands upon millions upon billions of dollars when our pets end up sick from the very bad advice that they are saying is fine. So I ask you now, I implore you, to use your own mind. Do some critical thinking, do some research, and tell me what you think. Is dry food the only thing our animals need to be healthy? And I think you know already. In the wild, dogs and cats would eat only fresh, raw, whole foods. That's what they were evolved to eat. That's the diet that kept them healthy through the millions of years leading up till today. But feeding raw and whole foods to your pet only is very difficult, expensive, and time-consuming. Most of us cannot do it. Most of us don't have the time. Most of us can't afford it. So I'm trying to find a compromise here. I've developed techniques and I've carefully chosen different food sources that can be mixed with the commercial pet foods to put back these elements that are lacking in the processed food. These are things such as vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and of course water. Also, the less tangible, esoteric qualities of food that we can think of as life force and living energy. And these are things that science is only now beginning to look at. But these techniques that I'm trying to show you guys are also easy, quick, and in many cases inexpensive. And that really brings me to the heart of this video. If we are going to make changes to our animals' diets, then I also want to urge caution. We need to be careful and take every precaution we can to avoid any illness, digestive discomfort or distress, or any problems at all, really. I've mentioned some of these things here and there in some of the other videos, but before I get any further along with this channel, I wanted to put them all here in one place, because really, this is just as important as adding in the foods, making sure we do it safely. So whenever we're adding anything new to the diet, just go slowly. We're not in a race. Yes, we're trying to improve our animals' health, but these are things that are going to take place over the course of months and not days and weeks. So at first, let's go slow. You can give a little bit as a treat and see how that goes, or you can mix a little bit with the food. And if everything seems fine, you can add a little bit more. If our animals are already overweight or having health problems, then we want to go even more slowly. Those are the animals we want to be the most gentle with when making these changes. We don't want to stress the system too much. Just nice and easy. Take several weeks to make changes if you need to. Take months to do it if you need to. And if you do make changes very abruptly, don't be surprised if your animal has upset digestion. One mistake I see people make is they make a change abruptly, the animal gets diarrhea or something, and then they go, oh, I'm not going to make any more changes. So let's be smart about this. And that brings me to my next point here. When we're adding things in, we're also adding calories in. So let's say we add some sardines into your animal's food for the day. That's putting extra calories on top of what they're already eating. We don't want to do that, particularly if our animals are overweight. So when we add stuff, we need to subtract approximately the same amount calorie-wise of the food that they were eating before. This is why animals get overweight when we feed them our table scraps. It's because you're feeding them their whole diet already, and then you're adding stuff on top of it. So even if you're adding the healthiest foods ever on top of it, you're going to be adding more calories, and this can lead to weight gain. If your animal is already overweight, that is the last thing we want. So instead, we want to subtract some of the other food to balance out the calories. If you're making changes to your animal's diet and your animal is losing weight and you don't want your animal to lose more weight, then you're not adding enough calories. So it's up to you as the owner to be aware of these things and to be monitoring and to make the appropriate caloric adjustments where necessary. So that's it really. It's not too complicated. Go slowly. Don't make abrupt changes. Monitor the calories. If we're smart about it, we shouldn't have any problems. And by implementing these techniques, we should see improvement in digestion, improvement in energy, and just in the overall quality of life. This stuff does take some work. We do have to put in more time than we do just throwing down dry food. And when I first started doing this, it seemed like a bit of a hassle. But before long, when I saw how happy it made my animals to eat food that they really enjoyed and that I knew was giving their bodies what they needed to be healthy, suddenly I found great enjoyment in taking extra time to prepare these meals for them. It really makes me feel like a good pet owner. And since my animals are more than just pets to me, they are my children, it makes me feel like a good father. I'll leave you guys with that thought today. To help support the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Definitely want to hear from you guys. Join the discussion below. I thank you very much for your time, and I wish you the best. Good day.